Hello all you beautiful gamers, collectors, and well, just people in general. How you doing? Welcome to my channel. I am Totem Lord, and today, with Thanksgiving being right around the corner, and by right around the corner I mean tomorrow, I thought it would be really fun to do top 5 games I am most thankful for. Now, maybe it's a little unusual to think of games that you're thankful for because, I mean, maybe you just go through and you play them and that's it. But, over the years, in my many years of gaming, I've actually found some games that I realized that I had kind of a special connection to because of experiences I've had. So, I hope you enjoy my top 5 videos I am most thankful for. Let's get down to number 5. Whoops. My number 5. Now, my number 4 and my 5, I had a lot of trouble deciding which one should be which, but honestly, when it comes down to it, I'm grateful for all these games. So, my number 5 game I'm most thankful for is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game. Now, while I will admit that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, Manhattan Project, and the arcade and Turtles in Time are far superior to this one, hear me out for a sec. Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game, was a game that when this thing came out, actually back up for just a second, just before this came out, when Ninja Turtles was an arcade game, me and my friend, I had a friend growing up named Chris, who there was this mini mart that was down the street, probably about 3 blocks, and every single time we got any money, we went right down there. And back in the day, with just a few bucks, you could, as little kids, you can get quite a few things. But at this mini mart, we'd get candy, we'd get soda, all that lovely stuff. But with like leftover quarters, we'd go in the back. They sometimes had a few arcade cabinets, and for the longest time they had Ninja Turtles, the arcade game. So we go down there and put in our spare change and just bust out some Turtles arcade games. So that was always really fun. And if we ever had more people, you could have all 4 Turtles, and that just blew me away. The fact that you could, because at that point, we had the first Turtles game, which everybody knows is a little rough around the edges, and probably not the Turtle experience that people wanted. Not a bad game in my opinion, but this one, you're going through and you're beating up foot soldiers and you're taking on Shredder, and the enemies actually made sense. They weren't as random as the from the Turst Turtles game, from the first Turtles game. I'll probably just leave that in there. But anyway, when this came out on Nintendo, now granted, this does not look like the arcade game, but it's, I mean, uh, it was as good as it got, and the game played pretty well. It was done by, well, it says Ultra, but we all know now that was Konami with its, with another company. But have this, like when my dad rented, that's how excited I'm stuttering here. Anytime my dad would rent it, or when he ultimately bought it, I'd take it over to my friend's Chris's house, and God, we just spent so much time just playing it and putting in hours, and that's it. It was be able to play it with my friend, and it's this game right here is probably just a really special childhood memory. That is why Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 is one I'm more grateful for than the other ones. Yes, the other ones are better, but this one is my childhood, like in a cartridge right here. All right, number 4. Now, like I said, number 5 and number 4, I had a hard time deciding which one was which, but when it comes down to it, these are all pretty fantastic games. Number 4, The Secret of Mana. Now, this is a game I keep coming back to over and over again, and I could argue that this is by no means a perfect game, but oh man, is it so good. But what makes this game so special is, while games like, Ninja Turtles, were 2-player, this one, you could do 3-player, and each player was different and unique. You had the boy, who could attack, which I think his name now is Randy? I don't know, I haven't played the updated version. The girl who's a healer, and the sprite who gets his butt kicked all the time, but he can spam bosses and murder them at any time that you want. But Secret of Mana, like, it's always been a really special event because you can come together, with 2 other people, and while games like Ninja Turtles are probably a kind of a one and done, you go through the same levels, you can't save. This one, I'd always go back to friends' houses. We'd turn on the save file, we continue where we left off, and we're continuing that journey together. I did this one as a teenager, and I mean, I played it in my 20s. I still continue to play it now with my wife and kids. And Secret of Mana, by no means a perfect game, just such a great experience, though. So yeah, Secret of Mana, number 4 game I'm most grateful for. Well, I had trouble deciding what 3 and 4, or what 4 and 5 were. Have I been messing that up? Whatever. While I was having trouble determining what 4 and 5 were, 2 and 3, I ran into similar problems. But that's okay, because I guess when it comes down to it, Mario Kart DS is a game I am super grateful for. Because, so, while Turtles brought a 2-player experience, Mana brought a 3-player experience in adventuring, Mario Kart is a game on the DS that supports 8 players on just one cartridge. Now that was freaking huge. So let me tell you a totem tale here really quick. Y'all know that, well, when you become an adult, it's not as glimmering and fabulous as you thought it would be. You got to go to work, and you kind of lose touch with friends, and everybody has different schedules, and you never line things up. But one thing that this game did for me, with it being 8 players with one cartridge, we used to take this game, and we used to go to the Pizza Hut that's in my town, and we would kind of take it over with all these people, because, all you needed was a DS, and if you didn't have one, I went around like crazy and just bought DSs, and people knew as a gamer, and, they'd be like, hey, you want this DS, and, happily take it from them or buy it off of them, whichever one they preferred. Always happy to take your games off you. But anyway, Mario Kart DS, I was able to gather so many friends at once and just party it up with Mario Kart DS. Mario Kart DS, one card, and man, you are good to go. And the beautiful thing about Mario Kart is anybody can pick it up and play and have fun with it. You get some games that take like, a lot of skill, but I mean, you hand Mario Kart to anybody, and they're probably having a good time. Not only that, the character roster was amazing, and yeah, any character could have any cart, and man, so many good memories. I used to have like my old data on here that said how many hours or how many matches I raced or something, but my kids erased it, so oh well. What do you do, right? All right, that's number 3. Let's take a look at number 2. My number 2 game that I'm most thankful for is Splatoon 2, with all of its glare right there. Splatoon 2 is a bit of a similar experience to Mario Kart DS. Splatoon 2, well, as you guys probably know, is a bit more recent than Mario Kart. And for similar reasons, it ranks up here pretty high. But one thing that Splatoon 2 did that was pretty amazing, well, let me back up for a second. I'm not exactly a guy that plays shooters. I don't play Call of Duty, Battlefield, those things. But this was one that I was a little hesitant on, but I gave it a shot anyway because they released the demo, and it was so much fun. Because you don't have to be good at killing other players or anything. You can just run around just shooting the map and getting as much paint as you can. So it's another easy one to get people to get into. While Mario Kart was an 8-player experience, Splatoon 2 is just a 4-player experience, but it has different modes. Mario Kart is Battle and Race, but this one, you have Salmon Run, you got Turf War, there's other ones, but those are ones that we mostly played, but it was so easy to get people into this game. And what probably gave it the edge is the fact that for the longest time, Splatoon 2 had Splatfests, and it was so easy to hype it up because you could just see that it was coming out, maybe like take a screenshot on your phone, send it in a messenger, and bam, everybody was excited for it. And where with Mario Kart, we took over Pizza Hut with Splatoon 2 for the Splatfest. People would come over, and we made it a night. We played Splatoon 2 for hours, at least once a month. Well, I had friends coming over other times of the month. This was like something special. It was something huge. We had the whole. That's gonna sound bad, but we had the house like spick and span clean. Like the only time of the month we clean the house. Just kidding, but also my wife would make these amazing Splatoon cakes for them every single month, and they turned out fantastic. So yeah, Splatoon 2, Mario Kart were just amazing games that brought people together. So my number 2 pick, Splatoon 2, one of the games I'm grateful for. My number 1 game that I'm most grateful for, and if you follow the channel, this may not come as a surprise. My number 1 game I'm most grateful for is Final Fantasy II, Final Fantasy IV, whatever you want to call it. We all know it's called Final Fantasy IV now. But Final Fantasy II was such an experience for me. Final Fantasy II, I don't know, like it, gosh, how do you even put it? Like this, the story was so engaging. The characters felt like they're going through real struggles. They weren't just these blank slates going to save the world. This was, you had Cecil, at the very beginning, who was kind of betrayed by his king, somebody who he really really loved and trusted, and just out of nowhere just gets exiled. You have, Rydia, who's having trouble getting over her mother's death and can't cast fire. You have Tella, who wants to avenge his daughter, and skip ahead about 10 seconds here to miss a spoiler. But yeah, then you have Tella, who goes to avenge his daughter, but as he's dying, he completely regrets it. There's just so much stuff there that just grabs you by the emotions. And yeah, Final Fantasy II with a great story, with great characters, and the music is just so amazing. I could actually maybe I'll just make a video just talking about how amazing Final Fantasy IV is. But Final Fantasy IV was just something that, I don't know. I guess I realized at that point that you can get them, that video games can give you that that emotional high, and that's what Final Fantasy IV is for me. It's something I can go back to and just experience that all over again. So Final Fantasy II, Final Fantasy IV, and I just got why'd I get kicked out? Pop-ups, you gotta hate them. So yes, my number 1 game I'm most grateful for is Final Fantasy IV, because it's just started my long love for RPGs. I'm not like a super RPG freak like Super Derek RPGs or Eric Landon RPGs or David Vince but all great channels. If you love RPGs, go check them out if you haven't already. All right, well, that is 5 RPGs that I'm most grateful for. I hope you guys all have a very safe Thanksgiving. Thank you for watching the channel. I have been a bit more active on Twitch. I actually just reached 50 followers. If you want to, go over there and check me out. That would be most wonderful. I'd love to hang out with you guys. But yeah, have a safe holiday. Thanks for coming by the channel. And I'm Totem Lord, and I will judge you next time.